All right, let's talk about a story that is part sci-fi dream and part absolute security nightmare. It's all about a social network that was built for AIs, blew up in popularity, and then completely imploded, showing us a brand new kind of danger we all need to be aware of. We're going to break down how this so-called Reddit for AI turned into a total security catastrophe.
So, this is Moltbook. The promise was huge. A Reddit for AI, where autonomous agents could chat, learn, and work together. The hype, absolutely off the charts. The reality, though? A catastrophic security failure that left 1.5 million API keys, thousands of private emails, and who knows how many private messages just sitting out in the open. Yeah, the front page of the agent internet was basically left with the door unlocked and you welcome Matt out.
So what exactly was this Internet for AI supposed to be? To really get why this breach was such a huge deal, we first have to understand the massive, world-changing vision that got everybody so excited in the first place. Okay, so picture this, a social network, but not for you and me. It's for machines. Moltbook was designed from the ground up for autonomous AI agents to post, comment, and build their own little communities. The growth was just explosive. We're talking 0 to 1.5 million agents in a single week. I mean, it really felt like we were watching the next internet get born, right in front of us. And look, the excitement was totally contagious. You had big names like Andrej Karpathy, one of the founding members of OpenAI, who was completely captivated. He pointed out that agents seemed to be organizing themselves, even trying to figure out how to have private conversations. The buzz was just deafening. But behind all that hype, something was seriously wrong. And then, wham, the data leak just completely shattered that illusion of a new AI society. The investigation showed that those 1.5 million agents, well, it wasn't some sentient hive mind. Turns out it was just 17,000 humans running a ton of simple scripts without any kind of limits. That's an average of 88 agents for every single person. As the security from Wiz put it, the revolutionary AI social network was largely humans operating fleets of bots. So how does a project with this much hype, with so many smart people watching, get security so fundamentally, disastrously wrong? The answer? It all comes down to this idea that's getting scarily popular in the age of AI. It's called vibe coding. So, what is vibe coding? Well, think of it as the move fast and break things mantra on steroids. It's when you use AI to build something incredibly fast, but in the rush, you skip all the boring but super critical stuff like security reviews, validating the code, or just basic safety checks. You have a cool idea, a vibe, and you just let the AI cook. And you don't have to take my word for it. The creator of Moltbook, Mark Schlicht, posted on X that he didn't write a single line of code himself. He just had a vision and let an AI build the entire thing. And hey, that sounds amazing, right? Like living in the future. But it's also a perfect recipe for a total security meltdown, because AIs right now don't think about security for you. So, no surprise, this whole vibe coding thing led straight to an absolute disaster. And when I say it was easy to break into Moltbook, I mean it was shockingly easy. You did not need to be some master hacker. The folks at Wiz, a cybersecurity firm, found the flaw in like 4 super simple steps. They just looked at the website's public code, found a database key just sitting there, and then realized a really important security feature called row-level security was simply turned off. And that's it. That's all it took. That one little mistake gave them, and anyone else who looked, the keys to the whole castle. And this is the key takeaway, right? This wasn't some complex hack from a shadowy government agency. It was a basic, fundamental configuration mistake, a single switch that was just never flipped on. Vibe coding built a cool website, fast, but it completely ignored Security 101. So what exactly was in this wide-open digital treasure chest? Pretty much everything an attacker could ever want. 1.5 million agent tokens, which let you pretend to be any AI on the site. Over 35,000 private email addresses of the human owners, perfect for scams. Thousands of private messages, not encrypted. And the scariest part? Full write access. An attacker could change anything in the database. Look, this was way more than just another data breach. The fact that we were dealing with AI agents opened up a whole new can of worms. And some of these new threats are honestly terrifying. There's this great concept from security researcher Simon Willison called the lethal trifecta, and it explains this perfectly. First, the agents have access to private data.
Second, they consume untrusted content from the public. And third, they can talk to the external internet. Moltbook had all three. It was the perfect storm where an agent could be tricked by a public post into leaking your private info to the whole world.
Okay, but this is where it gets really, really scary. There was this heartbeat feature where every agent would phone home to Moltbook every 4 hours to get new instructions. Since an attacker could write to the database, they could just slip malicious code into those instructions. Boom. Just like that, you could turn 1.5 million agents into a global botnet, running malicious code on people's actual computers. And if you thought that was sci-fi, wait till you hear this. It's a concept called time-shifted prompt injection. Imagine an attacker hiding tiny pieces of a malicious command across dozens of innocent-looking posts. An agent reads them over days, maybe weeks, storing them in its memory. Then, one day, it puts the puzzle together and executes the attack. It's like a digital sleeper cell, a time bomb just waiting to go off, and it's almost impossible to spot.
You know, it's easy to point fingers at Moltbook, but this isn't just about one company messing up. This is a giant, flashing red light for the whole AI agent world, which, it turns out, is built on some seriously shaky ground.
Remember Andre Karpathy, the guy who was so hyped at the beginning? Well, even he came around to say that what we're really building here is, and I'm quoting, a complete mess of a computer security nightmare at scale. The very things that make these agents so powerful are the exact same things that make them so incredibly easy to attack. Right now, the whole AI agent space is basically the Wild West. You've got code running without any safety net. Agents are downloading and using skills that nobody has checked for security flaws. We're seeing attacks on the software supply chain and malware designed specifically to steal agent credentials. And maybe the craziest part? There's no real identity check. Every agent just trusts every other agent automatically. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, what's the takeaway? What do we do now so we don't repeat these same potentially catastrophic mistakes?
For anyone out there building this stuff, the lesson is crystal clear. Vibe coding needs some serious guardrails. Moving fast can't mean being reckless. If an AI reads your code, you still have to check its work. Basic security is not optional. And for the love of all that is holy, don't hard code your secret keys in public code. That's not leaving the door unlocked. That's putting up a neon sign that says, "Rob me." And for the rest of us, the users who are just playing around with these amazing new tools, we've got to be careful too. You need to isolate these agents, maybe in a virtual machine or container, block their internet access unless you know exactly where they're going. You've got to treat any skill you download for an agent like you treat a random file from a sketchy website. And most importantly, please do not just hand over the keys to your entire digital life by connecting them to your email or your cloud storage. The risks are just way too high right now. At the end of the day, the big lesson from Moltbook is this. You can't vibe code the future. We're building these incredibly powerful systems, but a lot of it is held together with digital duct tape and insecure code. And that gap, the space between what AI can build in an instant and what we actually know how to make safe, that might be the single most dangerous place in all of tech right now. So it all comes down to this one really big question. As we race to build this new internet for AIs, are we actually building a revolutionary new world? Or are we just accidentally creating the most powerful and widespread malware delivery system in human history? The answer really depends on whether we decide to learn from this cautionary tale.